The topic is quirky changes in Akbar's coinage from Ahmedabad mint at the turn of the millennium. Now, Akbar had decreed that the millennium be considered at the year 990, which is the Nuktavi millennium. And a lot of changes in his coinage were ordered at that time, including stopping of writing the name of the mint and making coins with a common mint name, Urdu Zafar Kareem. Ahmedabad mint somehow, for reasons unknown to us, did not follow these instructions in full. The silver coins continued to be minted. The copper was stopped a couple of years late, but they were stopped. Silver, while all the other mints started minting coins with the Ilahi date, Ahmedabad, along with another couple of mints, continued minting the coins in the name, in the Kalima type, that is the original design, right till the next millennium, that is the millennium, that is the year 1001. Why is a question which we have not been able to come to any conclusion and which needs to be investigated. And this is what I was referring to when I said that I'm going to pose a question for the academics to come to a conclusion on this. Abhishek, copper coins.
Right. So, as we know that, Akbar conquered Gujarat in AH 980. And from there onwards, you get constant copper coins till about 992 AH in one type. And then the Ilahi type starts in Ilahi 38 onwards. So there are a couple of, there are 4-5 types of coins, copper coins that are available. The standard of Akbar's coin is obviously dam, which is about 20-gram piece. And then you have fractions of them. In this lecture, we are going to just touch upon the dams and not go into the fractions as such. But then, dams without the divider type, and then we'll come to those pictures later, were minted in 980-81. And then we have a horizontal dotted type, which has a horizontal dotted line in the middle till about, So this is the first type about 980-81. And then you have a horizontal dotted line in between till about 992 with a small gap between 989 and 992. So you don't have coins from dated 990 and 991. That is probably because of the rebellion or sort of comeback of Muzaffar III, the Gujarat Sultan. And then the copper coins in Ilahi starts at Ilahi 38 with 5 months of real quirkiness that we are going to see further. The tankas were issued, and the tankas are the 40-gram huge pieces of coppers, and that started in Ilahi 44. And from Ilahi 46 to 50 or till the last year of the reign, we have the tanki system with chaur tankis and the do tankis and the ek tankis. So these are all the copper coins that we see from the Ahmedabad mint. So we now go to Amit ji, who will touch upon the silver coins, and then we'll come back to the coppers.
Just as Abhishek said, there were a number of types of silvers also issued once the mint was taken over by the Mughals. Till the time Akbar conquered Gujarat, the coins of Gujarat were all the lightweight 5 and 7 gram, 8 gram coins, even in silver. 980-81, we have one design of coins, which is a Kalima type, as you can see at the top left. It was issued partly in 981 when the design was changed and the mint epithet Daral Sultanat Shahar Muazzam was introduced 981 and partially into 982. Then in 982 through to 987, we have the which you can the rupee which you can see at the bottom, which is a square with two lines and dots in between, and the kalima on one side and Akbar's name on the other side, along with the date and the mint. This was followed from 987 to 1001, and that is where the quirkiness starts. Till that time, the coins follow a simple pattern, very straightforward. Almost 13, 14 years, absolutely similar design. Then in Ilahi 37, which is at the end of 1001, we see the coins introduce the date, the Ilahi date, but still retain the kalima, which is something which again is not seen in most other mints of the empire. And we have to remember that Ahmedabad at this time was amongst the major mints of Akbar. I think there were 7 or 8 major mints, and Ahmedabad was one of them. A few months into 38, also we see the same design, the kalima with the Ilahi year 38. This goes on, I believe, up to Tir, because after that we have these coins which have the full Ilahi creed on it. Jal Jalalahu Allah Akbar on one side, and the mint name, date, and the month on the other side. These were introduced most likely in Amarnath, because I have not been able to find any coin of Tir till now. But in Amarnath 38, the first coins with the month and the Ilahi creed appear. And then they proceed uninterrupted for 13 months. But again, what we see here, the first 2 months, normal coins, normal legends. Then all of a sudden in Mihir, we find the month name written in 3 different styles. If you can see the center line, all the 3 coins are having Mihir written in a different way. After that, we have Aban. And what I have observed is that these coins dated 38 Aban are the most abundant coins that are available. I mean, you could say that if you pick up 100 coins of this type, more than 50 would be coins with Aban. Then again, it stabilizes and it goes into the year 39 for another 4 or 5 months. A total of 13 months these coins were issued before we come to this round design, which continues till Akbar's death, with a short gap of about 9 months in the year 47. Now, the quirkiness that I was talking about was this, that when these coins were introduced at the turn of the millennium, we find that in that 1.5 years, we have the coins with the Kalima and the Ilahi date. You have before that the coins with the complete Kalima and the AH date. And then you have the coins with the Ilahi creed and the month and the date complete. So in that short period, we have 3 different designs in about a year or a little over 1 year's time. Same phenomenon is also observed in copper. I think, Abhishek, you can explain it better.
Right. So as we were touching upon, the top one is the one that is the earliest one, that at 980, as soon as Akbar conquered Gujarat. And the horizontal dotted line types, as we have already touched upon, was started at 982 and then continued till 992. This copper coin of 992 is especially important because that was just after Akbar put down the last rebellion or the last attempt by Muzaffar III to come back again to power. We'll go on to the next slide. And from 992 onwards, then there is no copper coin till Ilahi 38 Aban again. As Amitji said, they're the most abundant in even in silver coins. And all of a sudden, we have these coins. Now, these coins, the next 5 months that we are going to touch upon, are not being reported anywhere. And there have been a couple of there had been an article in JONS a couple of years back by Colonel Jain Datta, who touched upon the copper coins of Ahmedabad mints. Nowhere were these 5 months included or these type was discussed. So we're going to touch upon them. As we can see that in Aban, we have three different types, three different designs that came up. On the left-hand side top, we can see Ilahi. On one side, you have the horizontal dotted line saying Falus Ahmedabad. And on the reverse, we see Ilahi. And on top of the Ilahi, you see Ilahi 38. So you can see 38 just on the top of Ilahi. You have the horizontal dotted line and Aban as the month. On the right-hand side top, you can see the Ilahi 38. The number 38 comes down near the month, where the month is written. So Ilahi at the top and Aban at the and Ilahi on the top and 38 at the bottom, just besides the month. And then there is another plate which is taken from an old article, and there you have the plate shows Ilahi 38, which is written just besides the Ilahi. Here the ye is also the small the majul ye that cuts through, and then you have Aban. So in Ilahi 38 Aban, you have three different types, different designs that comes through. Nowhere has this been reported. We come to the next month, and just after Aban, we have Azar. Now, and in continuation, we have Ilahi 38. Ilahi is written with a majuliye, and that cuts through the coin. Here, the horizontal dotted line somehow disappears, and you have on obverse, you have Falus Ahmedabad, and on the reverse, you see Ilahi 38. 38 is just written besides the month, and Azar month is written. The next month is D, and the 38 then goes up besides the Ilahi. When you have the month besides, again, there's no horizontal dotted borders in these coins, and you have Falus Ahmedabad on the observe without the horizontal dotted line. So that's between Azar and D. The next month is Bahman, as we know in the Persian month list. And here also, you have the Ilahi without the horizontal dotted design that comes through, that is Falus Ahmedabad. And then you have Bahman written in two types. One is without the hooked hay. At the top, you can see the hooked hay and the do chashmi hay, and that is coming through. That's a small variation in writing the H letter, as we call it, in Bahman. And you again see there's no horizontal dotted line. So, and then after Bahman, from Isfandarmuz onwards, till Ilahi 44, you get this kind of, horizontal dotted line coming back again. So it seems as if from Aban to Isfandar, the mint master wasn't sure about the design. He was simply playing out with different designs that he liked and wanted to finalize upon what he wants to do. And that throws up, quite a number of different varieties and designs of copper coins that we see, and in only on these 5 different months. And at the start of when the copper coins were resumed again in Ilahi 38, because we don't have say for 8-9 years, you don't have any copper coins since 992. You don't have any copper coins. All of a sudden in Ilahi 38, you start getting coppers from Ahmedabad, and for 5 months you get this quirky, different design copper coins. Right.
Abhishek, I would differ a bit whether it was the mint master experimenting or whether there was some reason. I mean, that is what needs to be looked at, because
yeah, I mean, there has been, I mean, there's no written anything written
nothing
about
in writing. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's a matter of guesswork about what could have happened. But yeah, you get these very quirky designs, where the Ilahi year is being shifted all over the coin, sometimes in the top, sometimes at the bottom. The horizontal dotted line goes away, and that throws off a number of different types for collectors to collect upon.
One of the points I had been discussing with a very senior collector and researcher was that all these lines and dots, and they carry some specific meanings in the Mughal not history as such, but in Mughal literature or in the religion. And maybe one of the reasons why these lines, because you see it even in silver, there are, I mean, the square lines, then you have these mihrabs and a lot of different things, which I believe are some religious annotations. But the icing on the cake is this one.
Yeah.
It is a 20.4 gram coin, the top, struck with what appears to be a silver, the die for the silver coins. I have never till now seen another coin like this. Of course, even this came to my collection just last year.
Amit, quick interruption. How do you know this wasn't attempted forgery?
20 grams, no silver coin of 20 grams.
Thank you. That makes sense.
And it's not a trial. I discussed this with Shailen, and he also mentioned that in those days, there were no trials.
So if this was a half dam, even an argument for, being a copper core could have been made, but with 20 gram, it's definitely it's a copper coin made from the silver die.
Yeah, agree.
I ask a question?
This brings us to the end of the talk or the presentation.
Well, thank you both. This and it made it. What made it all more interesting is the cooperation between you two, each talking about your own specialty. There is one thing that I was thinking about, and it may be a false trail, but it was the first thing that sprang into my mind, actually. The year 1000 in the Christian era was a big deal. There were all kinds of miracles observed and all kinds of stuff that was said to be happening. The year 2000, likewise, in the Christian era was a big deal. And we didn't have the blood rains in the Middle Ages, but we had computer problems that were foreseen and never materialized. Now, I could imagine that the year 1000 in the Islamic era was a big deal as well, and that people were worrying about all kinds of things. Was there any upheaval connected to the year 1000?
No idea. But yes, the fact is that Akbar had also decreed that the year 990 be observed as a millennium and not the year 1000. And that was the Nuktavi millennium that is considering, I think it's the flight of the Prophet or something like that, which was 10 years prior to the actual calendar, that the Hijri calendar.
Right.
Yes, Paul. Ask a question. A bit later on in history, it was very normal for silver and gold to be struck in, shall we say, officially controlled mint, whilst copper coins were struck separately. They were farmed out, basically. Do you know how it was done in this time?
I believe that control was with the official mint rather than being minted outside or contracted.
So all the copper and silver coins would have been struck in the same mint?
Probably, yes. And that is maybe what has caused this error, but how it could get out of a Mughal mint is a big question.
Okay.
And Paul, perhaps the quality and the calligraphy of the coins is evidence of that. That all of them have consistent and quite crisp calligraphy, which says it's under central control minting. That's what I think.
Okay.
I have a bunch of questions. Peter, how much time do we have?
Well, we're only 8 minutes behind, so you can easily take another 2.
Okay, I'll take one. So I think this was absolutely fantastic work. I think Amit, you and Abhishek have worked out the entire chronology year by year, month by month for Akbar, silver and copper coins, and I would strongly offer my support in sort of putting this all together, coming up with some kind of numbering or cataloging system, month by month, year by year. It's amazing. What do you think about gold, and are you planning to do this for other mints?
Well, my area of interest right now is all the mints in Gujarat, and I'm working like this on all the mints in Gujarat, including another observation that I have had in the coins of Aurangzeb, where you find specific symbols in the scene, the letter scene on the reverse. There are different symbols that come up over a period of time.
Yeah.
And I am putting together in my own collection coins with different such marks in the whole reign, which has led me to believe that this is probably a change in either the mint controller or the governor of the mint, or the area where the mint was. Because I have seen that these changes occur fairly frequently, and the design lasts for a few years. And in a particular year, we have two designs, and the second design that continues for the next couple of years. But I need a lot more coins to be able to say this for certain, and that is why I'm still picking up coins and putting together these coins to study them more in more details.
It is almost like the Daroga marks that we get in Ahmedabad, Banaras, Bengal presidency coins.
Yeah.
You have different marks and for different governors, probably, or the mint masters. So yeah, that could be one of the reasons, and could be one of the things. Only thing is the English documented everything while we didn't. So the Mughal period, we don't have any sort of literature to corroborate. In regards to Nuktavi Millennium, well, we had a lot of discussion with that. There are certain coins from even Akbar's reign, and I would touch upon Malwa, for example. I have a coin of copper coin of Akbar with Ilahi 38 and Alf. Alf would mean the 1000. Yeah, together, which suggests that probably the Urdu Zafar Kareem that you get with Alf probably would mean 38. I don't know. We do have the silver coins with in Bengal, the Bangla mint and the Bengal mints, which says Alf with Ilahi 38, and then you have 1001, 1002 also, in words, Alf, Ethane and all. So, you never know whether, that really was that a Nuktavi Millennium, but that's a things, for probably a later discussion and a future discussion.
So
Very
while
good. Let's have a future discussion on this. For the moment, I would just like to note that we have a question on a guidebook on Mughal coins. I would very much like to divert that question to World of Coins, where it's possible to give references. There are certainly books available, though Amit may want to have to do a short comment on the question, but I think we can discuss this question on World of Coins.
There are general catalogs as well as specialist catalogs, individual ruler catalogs.
Very good, thank you. With that, I propose that we take a